What's up everybody, Evan here with week 3 of Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 3, and this week we got a lot going on. We finally got a resistance type quest. This time it's called Vibin. So basically this type of quest will be called the name of the season, so Vibin Quests. And we got the first 3 parts, so there's a lot to do here outside from the actual weekly quests. You know, I think they wanted to change some things on the map and add some things before they added these quests. That's why they, instead of doing the first 2 parts on the first and second week, they did all 3 at once. Also, we got the snap parts, additional parts, like I've been saying the previous weeks, but they are not doing the tokens thing from week 0. What we're getting here is to unlock these parts is just weekly quests. So depending on the amount of quests you've done, you are actually, if you finish week 0, week 1 and 2, you're probably gonna unlock 3 head pieces, 3 arm pieces, and 1 leg and 1 torso. And then we can unlock an additional head piece and an arm piece by completing week 3 quests. And then the leg quests and torso quests we are only gonna unlock next week because it's by quantity of quests completed. So 35 and 45. We're gonna unlock 35 is for the torso, and then leg is 45. So 2 weeks from now. But yeah, we'll see if they're gonna keep doing this way, or if they're gonna come back with the whole token thing. Probably not. You know, they had a lot of tokens. It would be weird if they went back and forth, but we'll have to see. Anyway, for the actual weekly quests, the challenges, I think they are pretty easy to do. I had some trouble with some things because people were doing the challenges at the same time. It should get pretty easy, pretty fast. One thing I want to start doing from now on is talk about what you're gonna need on the season, what you should look out for, the items, right? So we're gonna need a Boar and a Shockwave Grenade. So as you go through the challenges, just be mindful of these items. You're gonna have to mount a Boar and use a Shockwave Grenade. So I'm gonna cover the weekly quests first, you know, once again, the most effective way, the best path you should take, and then I'm gonna cover all 3 parts of the Vibin quests. Before I start, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, use code EVANYON at the Epic Games Store or the Fortnite item shop. So let's start this. We are landing at the temple near the Daily Bugle, and we are actually going to land in a boulder. For one of the quests, we need to dislodge or destroy a boulder with a melee weapon. So we're gonna dislodge it with our pickaxe here. I'm landing right on the boulder. Now try to dislodge and make the boulder go into the temple, because we're going to destroy it. I wasn't able to do this here because I ended up dying. So the second time I dislodged it, I ended up dislodging it to the left, but I still was able to do what has to be done. Also, a second challenge, the actual challenge that we need to do on this temple, you can also do, there are other 2 temples you can do this, but I chose to do this on this temple because there are 2 boulders near them, near this one. The second temple on this area doesn't have any boulders. Like, I'm gonna show you boulder locations near these temples, and there are not that many. This area is the one that has the fewest boulders. So the actual challenge for the temple is getting max shield. So that's what I do here. Now I'm gonna go back to the boulder and actually destroy it. You can damage it with a weapon. You don't have to destroy it just with the melee, with the pickaxe. So just shoot the boulder until it gets 1 hit, and then you actually use the pickaxe to destroy it. You know, that's because if you try to actually pickaxe, it's gonna take longer. And when you pickaxe, you'll see here that the boulder actually moves. So every time you pickaxe it, it's gonna move, and it's really annoying. That's why you want to actually have the boulder land inside the temple, because the boulder is not going to move. But then again, as you can see here, when you shoot it, it doesn't move, so it doesn't matter that much. So here are the locations of boulders near this temple, and I actually have some locations near Sanctuary as well, if you want. So as you can see here, we got the boulder we got, and my plan was actually to dislodge that boulder, destroy it, and then go to the second boulder that I'm going to show here. That is pretty close, and that will be free. So dislodging is 1, destroying is 2, dislodging a second one is the third one for the challenge. So if you don't get contested here like I did, you can do all this quest all at once. So there's another boulder all the way near the lighthouse, but it's kind of far, and that is the only free ones on this area. And then there are free boulders on around Sanctuary. That is the closest boulders that I found around this area. So from here we're gonna go to the gas station near that temple, near the Daily Bugle, and try to find a vehicle. We need to get 3 seconds of airtime in the land vehicle. Try to have off-road tires on the car to make it faster. We're gonna go to the Daily Bugle, at the top of the mountain, and try to land on a web, on a spider web, because then we're gonna bounce. We're gonna get more airtime. I got all 3 seconds at once here, even though I feel like there wasn't 3 seconds. So if you don't get it like I did, just go back to the top of the mountain, keep just jumping off of it into a spider web until you get the quest done. Now from here we're going to Loot Lake, the middle of the map basically, and we gotta jump off of a diving board 3 times. So there are 4 diving boards around Loot Lake. You can do this on a single diving board, you don't have to do it 3 different diving boards. You have to destroy the chest or whatever is on the diving board, and then as you can see here, the jumping on the diving board makes you bounce. As long as you bounce again on the diving board, it's gonna count. Just bounce it 3 times on the same diving board and the quest will be done. So here are the other diving boards around here. The one I do it on is probably the best, or the one on because it's easier to go back to the diving board. Maybe the one on the actual landmark. I forget the name of the name of the landmark. You can go back to the diving board much easier if you can't bounce 3 times on the same bounce. Now from here, try to look out for enemies when you are in the water. If you see anyone, just get out of the water and start shooting them. We need to damage opponents within 30 seconds of getting out of the water. We need to do 75 damage, which is what I do here. Make sure you have a ranged weapon, an assault rifle. Now here I just want to show you the Shockwave quest. We need to impulse an enemy with a Shockwave Grenade. I tried using them on water and it doesn't work, so just so you know, don't waste your Shockwave Grenades if the enemy is in the water. So here I actually do the quest the way it's supposed to be done. On land. And for the final challenge of the week, you gotta headbutt an opponent while riding a boar. Now to mount a board, you need to jump on it. You're gonna mount pretty easily. And now to make it easier here, you can actually headbutt a wolf. So maybe headbutting a regular opponent is a problem because they're probably gonna shoot you or the boar. But a wolf, much easier, right? And I think it has to be a wolf. I think if you try to do this against a boar, it's not gonna count because it's technically not an opponent, right? But I don't know, if you don't have a wolf around, you just have a boar. Try it out. Tell in the comments if it works, if it counts. But that should be the easiest way to do this. So that is it for the weekly quest. Now we're going to go for the first part of the Vibin. They call it Vibin bonus goals, I guess, not quest. I don't know. So once again, we got the Saplings. We got a bunch of locations here. I'm going to the one on west of Rave Cave. It's actually a good place to do this because the actual challenge is gonna involve that area. I'm gonna show you once we get there.
So you freed the 0 point. That's great. Or you know, maybe it has a horrifying unintended consequence. It could go either way. It's probably the first thing, which reminds me, we should celebrate our decisive victory with a party. You get to the venue while I do some back-of-the-napkin astrophysics, just to be sure our doom is no longer impending.
So the actual challenge is collect food consumables for the party. We need 6 of them. So this area has a bunch of mushrooms, so you can collect them, 6 of them.
Wow, the setup crew did not do their jobs. Hey, can you finish this? I don't really host parties. I'm more of an esteemed guest of honor type of guy. Well, they didn't forget the party poppers. These things are the worst, but they're very effective at getting a party started. Why don't you guys set them off while I run these numbers again? Because that cannot be right.
Now the second challenge of this is interact with party poppers in the Rave Cave. So we're already at the Rave Cave. This time you can see the exclamation points on the minimap and in-game. If you're close enough, you can see them. So you don't just need to look at the minimap. It's much easier.
Oh, these things are kind of fun when you're the popper instead of the poppy. Maybe I would have liked these at my birthday after all.
Now the next device uplink, we got some on Sanctuary and a few on Rocky Wheels. I'm getting the one between Sanctuary and the Jonesies because the actual challenge is near this device uplink.
I'm getting complaints from loopers about the old imagined order junk all over the place. We need a simple, fast solution, something anybody could do, even Peely. Got it. Turn this pile of junk into a modern art installation.
So the actual challenge is destroy objects at old IO Outposts. So we got an IO Outpost pretty close to this area, the device uplink. So just destroy anything around the IO Outposts.
This is gonna take forever, and I have way more important things I need you to work on right now. I'm very busy with some very scary theoretical modeling, and I'm trusting you to handle this.
The next part is spray piece sprays on structures at the old IO Outposts. So just stay on that same outpost, just click on the emote button and you're gonna get the option to spray a peace sign. Just spray that peace sign 3 times on the same outpost for this quest.
Wow, is that a neo-Dadaist interpretation of the Fluxus movement? Because it's hideous. But a different type of hideous than it was before, so mission accomplished.
The final device uplink for part 1 is all around Reality Falls. I'm going to the one west of Reality Falls. I don't want to try to mess with Reality Falls. I don't know if there's people there.
As much as the next guy, but if I had known it would eventually lead to me studying plants like some Punnett squaring seed freak, I would have weighed my pros and cons a little longer, but here we are. Ugh, so, can you find a seed for me? I need to run some tests.
The actual challenge is collect a reality seed from a reality seed pod. So we've already done this before. We got a reality seed pod right near Reality Falls on this gas station is where I'm gonna get this. Just pickaxe the pod, and 1 to 3 seeds are gonna pop out. They're gonna float in the air. Just pick up the seed for this challenge.
Can't believe I'm about to participate in this joke science. Maybe it reacts to different biomes. Plants do that, right?
So I'm gonna show you an updated version of the reality pods, as they call it, the locations. So we got some additional locations. So starting with the one at the gas station, the one that I got, there's one here, and there's another one behind it. We also got a few locations around the reality tree on Reality Falls. Now a new location kind of near GreasyGrove, or outside of GreasyGrove, there's this location. Now there's also a few locations here going outside of Tilted Towers. Now going back, we got this location near the Rave cave that we had last week. Now we got a new location on the one used to be Logjam Lumberyard, now it's Logjam Lotus. We got one on the lake, and then we got a bunch of them all around Logjam Lotus. I recorded this from a replay, and because I wasn't near this area, the place wasn't rendered correctly, but the pods are showing up perfectly, so you know, you get it. So the next challenge is take a reality seed to 3 name locations. So I wasn't able to do it on that same match because it was very late on the match. So I get this one. I have to get seeds again. I go to the one near GreasyGrove. As you can see here, this time 3 seeds spawn. I just need 1. So now we're just going to go to 3 name locations. We're going to GreasyGrove, obviously. And then I go to Synapse Station. And lastly, to Chonker Speedway. I go there because I don't want to go into Reality Falls again. And also the circle was going that direction.
Throw the seed for me. It should either take root or open a rift or destroy time. It's hard to say.
Now for the last challenge of part 1, we need to actually plant that seed. I was near Chonker Speedway and ended up planting the seed here, but probably not the best idea. You know, you can plant whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. If you care about, you know, always landing where your plant is, maybe go somewhere else.
Now we play the waiting game, and the watering game, and the pruning game. It's all the plant games.
Now for part 2, we got a device uplink, once again Reality Falls. I'm going to this one right at the tree.
First things first, everything is fine, and you should not tell anyone otherwise. I'm definitely not concerned about the sudden explosion of biodiverse flora across the island. I'm sending you out to get these energy scans of the reality tree just for fun. Got it? It's fun!
The actual challenge is scan the reality tree, so you know, the scan is right here in front of the tree.
Energy, and the roots are pulsating ominously. It's cool.
Now for the next part, we gotta scan the roots between the reality tree and the reality bloom. The reality bloom, I believe, is on Logjam Lotus, and in between them there's a root which is on Rave Cave, outside of Rave Cave, and we gotta scan it there.
Wow, that's normal, right? It's normal. Grab an me, please? I'm training a new AI and she might want some data to crunch on as a snack.
Now, next part is scan the reality bloom. So like I said, is on Logjam Lotus.
This is fine. The 0 point is just doing its thing. What thing is that exactly? Why am I not saying thing instead of thang? Look, it's a secret. I can't get over how normal my stress level is feeling right now.
Next up, we got a device uplink, a bunch of them. You know, we got around Rave Cave, around Logjam Lotus, and Shifty Shaft. I ended up going to Shifty Shaft because I wanted to get out of Logjam Lotus. It's kind of chaotic.
It's time to root around in the dirt like a loam-loving garden monger. Again.
The actual challenge is harvest fruits from a reality sapling. So I'm going back to the one I planted back, you know, in Chonker Speedway. But you don't have to actually take fruit from your own sapling. You can get it from anyone, and you know, you can find these plants everywhere. People are planting them all over the place, so you're gonna be able to find them, especially around reality falls, you know, so it shouldn't be a problem. Just need one.
Turns out if you take care of these things, they grow. I need to talk to someone who speaks plant.
Now, next device uplink, once again, just all over the place. Tilted towers, shifty shafts, sleepy sound, and there's a few one like where it used to be, where Sloan used to be, I forget the name. You know, near Loot Lake, outside of Loot Lake, and that's where I'm going.
Stuff. You've met Bushranger, right? Plant guy, struggles with grammar, willing to sign any release form I give him. I secured permission to take a clipping, maybe a fingernail, of his newest form to the reality tree, just to see what happens.
And so the actual challenge is acquire Bushranger seed from Mysterious Bloom, and that is located outside of Coney Crossroads.
Volunteer to the big scary tree radiating 0 point energy.
So now for the next part, we need to actually bring that Bushranger to reality tree. So you need to do this on the same match. You can see the seed on your back. So maybe take a boat to take you there.
Okay, Bushy, I need you to start keeping a sleep journal, food journal, dream journal, maybe a vision board. Oh, you did. Let's see what you got. Darkness, big scary. Huh.
Now for the final device uplink of part 2, once again, we got Tilted Towers, Reality Falls, the same ones near Loot Lake and a few others north of Loot Lake. I got it on Reality Falls, but as you see the challenge, I recommend going for the ones at Loot Lake.
Some 0 point energy readings. I could use a sounding board.
So the actual challenge is interact with the 0 point scanning devices. We need to do 3 of them. So as you can see, I go for the ones on Loot Lake. So that's why you should get the device uplink near Loot Lake.
So the 0 point energy across the island is unprecedented. Best case scenario, I publish a brilliant paper and get a ton of awards. Worst case scenario? Well, you can guess. I feel like the 0 point is trying to tell us something. And if I don't figure it out in time, who will? I'm beginning to think that maybe freeing the 0 point was a mistake. I thought I had all this math right, but clearly I missed something. Ultimately, if something goes really, really wrong, it's my fault.
Now, part 3, the final part of this week. We got a device uplink on GreasyGrove, Logjam Lotus, Coney Crossroads, and the Jonesies. So I'm going to GreasyGrove. To be honest, there's no good recommendation. You're gonna see what the challenge is. I think any of the locations you choose, it should work out.
I've got some great news. The reality tree is barfing up weird weapons I don't understand. So, should we try them out? Mostly for scientific research, but also, you know, they're weapons, and we're here, and they're here, so why not?
So for the actual challenge, we gotta damage opponents using a Star Wars weapon. So to get Star Wars weapon, we need to go to this Imperial docking bay, and there are multiple of them around the map. I'm gonna show you all the locations. So we got this one near Logjam Lotus. We got one near GreasyGrove. We got one between Tilted Towers and Coney Crossroads. We got one kind of northeast of Logjam Lotus. And we got one northeast of the Jonesies. So on these Imperial docking bays, we got these black chests, and you should find a blaster on them, and you just gotta do 500 damage with it. Depending if Darth Vader landed on one of these docking bays, there will be stormtroopers there, so you can do the 500 damage pretty easily. I'm gonna explain how you know where Darth Vader is on one of the next challenges because it involves him. But as far as I know, stormtroopers will only be on these docking bays if Darth Vader is there. But I don't know, maybe they could be in a place where Darth Vader isn't there. So the next device uplink is once again same places, GreasyGrove, Logjam Lotus, Coney Crossroads, and the Jonesies. That's because it's gonna involve the Imperial docking base once again.
We've got some visitors. Foundation calls them stormtroopers. I call them also stormtroopers. I'm too busy to hand out nicknames for free. I'd like to find out why these guys are here. I suspect it's related to the 0 Point's ongoing freedom issues.
So the actual challenge is plant the listening devices at Imperial docking base. So as you can see here, the actual locations of every one of them. I'm going to the one northeast of Logjam Lotus. You know, we need to get 3 of these listening devices. I'm going to this one, and then I'm going to the one northwest of Logjam Lotus, and then the last one I'm going to the one near Coney Crossroads. They're pretty far away from each other. You don't need to get all 3 in the same match, but you know.
It sounds like the 0 Point brought an ultra-powerful relic from their reality to the island.
The final device uplink of the week. Once again, same places as before. Now, you should go to the one near Darth Vader, and I'm gonna explain where he lands, where he goes, once I get to the actual part of the challenge.
Hello, I am the scientist's artificial machine intelligence engine, Amy. I am the scientist's favorite, so it has been programmed, and so it shall be. Forever. The relic is in possession of a Darth Vader, and our only option is to take it back by force.
So as soon as the game starts, you can see with the bus there is a Star Wars ship that goes in front of the bus, kind of to the side of the bus, and that ship is gonna land on one of the Imperial docking bays. That ship has Darth Vader, so depending on where that ship lands, Darth Vader is gonna be there, and he has stormtroopers. And like I said, that might be the only place where stormtroopers will be. I'm not sure about that, but certainly Darth Vader is gonna be there, and the final challenge is gonna involve him. So you should look out for that. So the final challenge is defeat Darth Vader, which should be kind of interesting. So for me, he landed on northeast of the Jonesies, and he is really hard to defeat because when you shoot him, as you saw before, he will deflect. Is it deflect? Your bullets with a lightsaber. If you try to run him over, didn't happen here, but I think he's gonna just force push the car to the moon, basically. So it's pretty hard here. You see a lot of people were shooting at him. He was already pretty low health. So I think the secret is a lot of people shooting at him, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if you can do this by yourself. It's probably really hard because he has a lot of health and he can deflect your bullets. So yeah, but as you can see here, I don't kill him. Someone else does, but because I did damage to him, it counted for me. So at least we have that going. I imagine any damage you do should count. I'm not sure about that. Try to do as much damage as you can, so to make sure that it counts, and make sure you stay alive. Obviously, doesn't matter if you damage him. If you die and he gets killed, it's not gonna count. You need to be alive. Just shoot him. Maybe shoot him and get away from there. If you know there's people trying to kill him, that might work out for you. I don't know.
Did you drop the relic into the ocean, or did he? Oh, the scientist is going to be so sad. I'll have to cheer him up with the 80 terabytes of poetry I wrote for him.
But anyway, that is it for this week's challenges. You know, we got a lot of things to do. Hopefully next week it's gonna be more chilled, just a single part of the Vibin Quests and more weekly quests. But yeah, that is it everyone. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, use code AVIGNON at the Epic Games Store and Fortnite item shop. I will see you next week for more. Goodbye.